All right, let's talk about the unit circle. So, what is a unit circle? It is just a circle with radius 1. That's the word unit. We center it at the origin. But this does give us an interesting phenomena in regards to trigonometry. So, every point on a circle is the same distance from the center point. In a unit circle, that distance is 1. So, this point, any point on the circle, xy, creates an angle with the radius and the positive x-axis. We call that a reference angle. All right, so we have an angle, we have a radius, but this also creates a right triangle. So if I drop this altitude down, you can see that this is the x-coordinate of the point, and this is the y-coordinate of the point, and we created a right triangle with a adjacent of x, an opposite side of y, and a hypotenuse of 1, which is why we used a unit circle. And if I apply just basic trigonometry, sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, and the cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse, I get two very nice equations. X equals cosine theta, and y equals sine theta. What that means is that for any angle theta, if I were to go straight out and grab the x and y coordinate off the unit circle, I could physically measure the x coordinate and the y coordinate and come up with the sine and the cosine of that angle theta. So that's, especially before calculators, that was a very good way to physically measure to be able to determine the sine and cosine of an angle. But now that we have calculators that we can use, we don't use the unit circle to find the sine and cosine of a lot of different angles. Typically, we just focus on using it to help us memorize the sine and cosine of the most common angles. So what most people have to do in a trigonometry class is memorize a unit circle. And what they mean by that is they're memorizing 16 points on the unit circle so that I can have the sine and cosine readily available for the most common angles. And what are the most common angles? They're the multiples of 30, like 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, and 45 degrees, 0, 45, 90, 135. So those are the angles that we're going to memorize. Typically we memorize them in degrees and radians, and then we memorize the x and y coordinate so that we can find the sine and the cosine. And then from the sine and cosine, you can use your fundamental identities to find all the rest of the trig functions. So I would encourage you to see the unit circle by its reference angles. So we're going to start with the angle 0, 0 degrees, okay, which is how many radians? That's 0 radians. So we have 0 degrees and 0 radians in the same place. We have, this is also coterminal with 360 degrees or 2 pi radians, all right? The coordinate at that point is easy because it's just 1 to the right, 0 up and down. So the coordinate here is 1 comma 0. How we can, if we memorize that, what that does is that gives me the ability to very quickly figure out sine of 0 degrees. Well, the sine of 0 degrees is the y coordinate, which is 0. If I asked you for the cosine of, I don't know, 2 pi radians. Well, 2 pi radians is this location. Cosine is the x-coordinate, which is 1. So the cosine of 2 pi is 1. So that's how we're going to use the unit circle. Let's look at a few more points. This one over here is 180 degrees, which is pi radians. All right, the coordinate point is -1, 0. So that means the cosine of 180 is -1. The cosine of pi is -1. The sine of 180 is 0. The sine of pi is 0. Let's look at the other two easy ones. These two. All right, the coordinate is x is 0, y is 1. Okay, so the coordinate's 0, 1. The angle is 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians. This one down here, the coordinate is 0, negative 1. The angle is 270 degrees, or 3 pi over 2 radians. So if you had these 4 points memorized, and somebody asked you for the sine of 270 degrees, then you would go to this location. Sine is the y-coordinate. The y-coordinate is negative 1, and the answer is negative 1. All right? And this would still be true if you were asked for like the cosine of negative 90. Well, negative 90 brings us to the same spot because it's coterminal with these. So again, I'm here on the unit circle, and I'm looking for the x-coordinate for cosine, so that would be 0. So that's how we're going to use the unit circle once we memorize the rest of the points. All right, next, I'm going to look at these 4 locations. They are all 30 degrees away from the x-axis. They'll have a reference angle of 30 degrees. All right? So what that's going to do is that's going to give me a 30, 60, 90 triangle. All right? And if you remember from geometry, a 30, 60, 90 triangle with hypotenuse 1 always has the sides 1/2 and square root of 3 over 2. Well, if I put that triangle here, that gives me an x-coordinate of square root of 3 over 2 and a y-coordinate of 1/2. So for 30 degrees, or pi over 6 radians, this is my x-coordinate and this is my y-coordinate. So if I were to ask you for the sine of pi over 6, the answer would just be the y-coordinate at that location, 1/2. So if I've got this point memorized, then I can quickly find the sine of pi over 6. All of these other points that are 30 degrees away, this one is 150 degrees, which is 30 degrees away from the x-axis. This one's 210, and this one's 330. They're all 30 degrees away from the x-axis, so they're all going to have the same coordinate points. Square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1/2. But the difference is when I'm in the second quadrant, my x-coordinate's negative and my y is positive. In the third quadrant, both coordinates are negative, left and down. In the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. But it's the same, square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1/2. The radian measure of these 3 angles is all going to have a denominator 6. This one's 5 pi over 6, this one's 7 pi over 6, and this one's 11 pi over 6. Okay? Now let's look at the 45-degree angles. Okay, we also had a triangle from geometry that we learned. That was a 45, 45, 90 triangle with hypotenuse 1. Gave us square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, 1. So if I'm looking at this 45-degree angle with hypotenuse 1, it's the same triangle. So the x and y coordinates here are going to be square root of 2 over 2, comma, square root of 2 over 2. And that's going to be true for all the 45-degree angles. So this one that's 45, and this one that's 135, and this one that's 225, and this one that's 315, are all going to have the same coordinates. It's just the sign's going to change based on the quadrant we're in. All of these have a negative x and a positive y because they're in the second quadrant. These all have a negative x and a negative y because they're in the third quadrant. And these have a positive x and a negative y. Okay? The radian measure of these four angles all have denominator 4. So this one's pi over 4. This one's going to be 3 pi over 4. This one's going to be 5 pi over 4. This one is 7 pi over 4. Okay? And that only leaves these 4 points. All right, and they're all reference angles 60. So it's that same 30, 60, 90 triangle, just turned the other way. Where the x-coordinate, if I'm at 60 degrees here, the x-coordinate's going to be a half, and the y-coordinate's going to be square root of 3 over 2. So just like this one, except the other way around. All right, so this 120 degrees, this one's going to be 240, and this one's 300, but they all have the same coordinates, except in the second quadrant, x is negative. Third quadrant, both are negative. And in the fourth quadrant, only the y-coordinate's negative. Now the radian measure of the 60-degree angles all have denominator 3. Pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, and 5 pi over 3. So those are the 16 angles measured in degrees, measured in radians with their coordinate points. So you see all the patterns. The biggest thing to focus on is remember that we have 30-degree angles, 45-degree angles, and 60-degree angles that all have the same quadrants. Okay, and then we can use this at any point to find any of our trig functions. If I wanted to find the cosine of 120 degrees, okay, then I would go to 120 degrees on the unit circle, and I would find the x-coordinate, because x is equal to cosine, and I would get negative a half. Okay? If I were asking you to find the sine of something in radians here, let's go 5 pi over 3. Okay? 5 pi over 3. And I go to this location on the unit circle, which is down here in the fourth quadrant. Sine tells me to get the y value, so I go here and get the y value, and the answer is negative square root of 3 over 2. If I were to ask you one of the other trig functions, you would just use your reciprocal identities or your quotient identities. So if I were to ask for the secant of pi over 4. So you'd go to pi over 4 on the unit circle. We know that secant is equal to 1 over cosine. So this would be 1 over the cosine of pi over 4. Okay? And the cosine of pi over 4 is the x-coordinate. So 1 over the square root of 2 over 2. And then we would flip and multiply when we divide fractions to 2 over square root of 2. Rationalize the denominator. We end up with 2 square root of 2 over 2, which just equals the square root of 2. Okay, and that's the secant of pi over 4. All right, just to make sure, I've got a video on some of those fundamental identities, but basically cosecant of theta, just to remind you, is equal to 1 over the sine, which is going to be 1 over y. Secant theta is going to be equal to 1 over the cosine, which is x. Tangent theta is equal to sine over cosine. That's a quotient identity, so it's going to be y over x. And then the cotangent of theta is equal to x over y. Okay, so you can use these 4 equations to pair with those 2 and be able to find any of the 6 trig functions of any of these most common angles. Okay? All right, I hope this helps.